Now, this is one of the reasons why I love to do these countdowns on these old playlists. The forgotten, not just the forgotten 45s, the 45s that have just disappeared. Absolutely disappeared. And probably the most avid radio listener, the most avid music record collector, probably are among the only ones who recall this song at number 28 on WSGN's playlist, September 30th, 1966. Thank God for YouTube. Got the video to it. Here, There, and Everywhere. A Beatles song from Revolver, covered by a Mercy Beat band called The Foremost. The Foremost from Liverpool, formed back in the 50s, originally known as the Four J's. They became the Four J's in 1959. They played at the Cavern Club. They did a show at the Cavern Club, or they might have just started playing there in March of 1961, 3 weeks before the Beatles made their appearance there. We are talking major Beatles connection with this band. They became the Foremost in 1962, and they signed a management contract with Brian Epstein. Or Epstein. I never could pronounce that guy's name. Epstein, the manager of the Beatles. That was a stroke of good fortune as the Beatles were picking up in 1962 and 1963 in England with hit records like Love Me Do and Please Please Me. The Foremost, since they had that deal with Brian Epstein, the manager of the Beatles, the Foremost had access to Lennon and McCartney's songbook, their early songs, and they covered a John Lennon song. It was called Hello Little Girl, a song that John Lennon wrote in 1957. And it went to number 9 in 1963 for the Foremost. Another song that they did, I'm in Love, went to number 17. That was in 1963. Their biggest hit, A Little Lovin'. This is all in England. They never had a hit here in the States. A Little Lovin', their biggest hit in England, went to number 6. Summer of 64, just as the British invasion was crashing ashore here in America. But the Foremost was not in the British invasion as far as America is concerned. Never had a hit over here. And it looked very promising for them. Maybe if they had a number of top 10 hits after this, after A Little Lovin', they might have had a chance of making it here in America, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen in England. They were never able to crack the top 20 in Britain again after A Little Lovin'. They did release an album or two, and they released Here, There, and Everywhere, a lovely rendition of the Beatles song, but it didn't chart. And tragedy hit the group. Rhythm guitar player Mike Millward died of cancer in 1966. They did a cover of Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie in 1968, the Jay and the Technique song, but it didn't do anything. The group eventually split up. More tragedy for the group in 1999 as one of the singers of the band, Brian O'Hara, Ohara, Brian O'Hara committed suicide in 1999. But they had a nice little run of hits in England for about a year or two. But they're very obscure. WSGN, kudos. They were a great station back in the 60s. Fortunately, can't say the same about them in the mid to late 70s, but Foremost at number 28 on WSGN's survey, September 30th, 1966. The Beatles. They're doing the Beatles, Foremost, Here, There, and Everywhere.